What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here tonight with a review for The Oval, Season 2, Episode 17. Can you guys tell me, please, how many episodes are there in this season? Is it 22? I believe it's 22, right? So it's 17. So we're almost there, right? So before we get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and are not yet subscribed to the channel, why are we still going out on this date? I need you guys to do me a favor, stop taking me out on this date, and then at the end of the dinner, having me pay for the bill. It's kind of rude, you guys. But with that out of the way, without further ado, let's talk about The Oval. Shall we? All right, you guys. So this episode, we pick up with that dumbass Hunter, right? So, he's still at, the cabin he's talking to Lily at this point, and he's still just really proud of what happened. And I'm just like, God, what an idiot he is, right? So then he's talking to Kyle. He's asking Kyle what's going on, about the casualties. Well, unfortunately for you, Hunter, there are no casualties. But, Kyle tells him that they are still, checking for DNA to see how many casualties there are. I can tell you how many casualties there are. Goose egg. So then Hunter wants to talk to the guy who flew the drone in, and Donald was like, he's in a bunker. So then he also wants to see where the drone hit. I'm like, God, this dude is an idiot, right? Hunter is literally a dumbass. Where are we at? All right, guys. So then Donald asks Lily, like, why are you here? If you're looking for your little boyfriend, Bobby, he's dead. Contrary, corn fritter, he's not dead, right? So then we see Hunter. This idiot wants to take a selfie with, what's her name again? Ellie. I think about the girl's name. What is her name, right? Then he also wants to know if there's any body parts. Talking about this isn't going to be romantic. I'm like, to who? Okay, Hunter. All you know how to do is use your penis. So then we see Donald. So Donald is talking to Kyle, right? And he's like, what was that son of a bitch doing at the White House? Well, the son of a bitch from his apartment, what was he doing at the White House? Kyle was like, oh, I had him there so we could have lunch. He says, really? So he was there for you to go to lunch. Then why was he waiting on the butler? Oh, well, that's because I was going to give him a tour of the White House. He's like, okay, you want to play games with me, Kyle? Pretty much is what he's doing. So then he tells him, I better not see him at the White House again, and I better not see him anywhere near you. I'm like, ooh, someone's panties are in a bunch. Like, you're mad that your little boyfriend has another boyfriend. Aw, poor Donald. Don't really feel bad for him. Don't feel bad for him at all. Oh, I got to pause because I got to sneeze. All right, you guys. So we are back, right? So Hunter, who voted for him? Like, I would really love to know what his campaign. I would love to know what his campaign slogan was. I would want to know what he said on the campaign trail. Like, I would love to know the backstory on what Hunter said. But I'm pretty sure everything Hunter said is stuff that was set up by, Victoria's mom and dad, right? But God, I would think people could read. I mean, well, I guess not, because these idiots in real world couldn't get paid. They voted for a crackerjack asshole. So, you know what? I can't even judge, can I? So Hunter wants to have sex with Ellie in the motorcade. She was like, these windows are not tinted, and I'm not your whore, Hunter. Well, Ellie, the minute you slept with him, you cheapened yourself. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You cheapened yourself the moment you slept with him. So then she tells him, like, you sent a drone. You should have a little bit more respect. Once again, we're discussing Hunter. I don't know how you could expect that man to have respect when he hasn't even been in the White House a full 30 days at this point, and he's slept with Diane. Nope. Denise. He slept with Denise. He slept with you. Denise is dead. Like, I don't know what you're expecting, but okay, go off, girlfriend. I really don't understand what you're expecting from this man. He told her he thought that this would be romantic. I'm like, how in the hell did you expect it to be romantic going to the site of where you allegedly, where you think you kill people? How is that romantic? What's romantic about that? Inquiring minds would love to know what's so romantic about that. So then, he says, well, if he wanted a bitch, he would have bought Victoria. You don't just have an issue with that. Him, a white woman calling a black woman a bitch. Really have a little bit of an issue with that. So then we move over to Donald. Donald has been an asshole to Lily this entire time, right? He asked Lily why was she out there. She says, I have nothing to say. And can you take me home? He says, this is a motorcade. We're going to wherever they're going to, so we can't make any detours. So then she asked him, actually, did she ask him why was he there? Oh yeah, she did ask him. She says, why were you there? He tells her, asking questions will get you in trouble. Looking at, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Donald just is not scary to me. Ashley Collins isn't even scary either. Actually, none of them are scary, to be quite honest with you. But I think what it is when it comes to them is the power that they have. They're power hungry. I think that's really what it is, more so. So he asked her if she came to see Bobby. She says, I don't have anything to say. He says, well, if you did come to see him, he's not there. He's dead. She was like, he's more of a man than you ever can be. He says, and he's in more pieces than I will ever be. And she says, those pieces each one of those pieces are bigger than any piece that you have. I'm like, okay, go off, I guess, right? All right, you guys, so let's move over to Max and Blakely. So they are outside. Looks like she's about to grill, right? So she tells Max that she's been thinking. He says, what have you been thinking about? She says, about the fact that they're trying to annihilate you. Like, they want you gone. Like, they want you off the clean, off the smooth, clean, off the face of the earth. That's what I was trying to say, but it was coming out all wrong. They want you removed. They want you off the face of the earth. They don't want you to be in any kind of existence, right? So then she tells him that, there's only one person that she can think of that she can trust. And she says, Martin. He says, the general. And Max says, well, do you really think that you can trust him? She says, yes. She tells him that, he says, well, what do we need to do? She says, well, we need to gather all the evidence we can. But he's like, that really won't matter. Now I have a good question, because this is the second time, this is the first time in this episode, but it's not the last time that we're going to hear General Martin's name mentioned. And I'm starting to wonder, General Martin, would this be Victoria's father? Because you guys know Victoria's father is got a lot of power, right? So I'm wondering if General Martin is Victoria's father. That'd be an interesting twist. I'm wondering that, right? So then let's move over to Richard, Sharon, and Dale, right? So they're en route to go to the Rockadooshies, right? So they're talking to Dale, and they asking Dale, what does he know about the Rockadooshies? He says, well, don't really know much about them. The things that I've heard are just, basically town gossip and rumors and stuff like that, right? So then as they start to get closer and closer, Dale's like, so are we gonna get the sheriff? And they were like, why do you think we need the sheriff? And, Sharon says, is there more that you know that you didn't tell me? He says, well, it's once again town gossip, but he's heard that, people go missing and they traffic kids. Well, Dale, you could have said that from the beginning. You definitely should have led with that. Yeah, buddy, you should have led with that one, because that's a big one, right? So then, Rich is like, he doesn't understand why why these people turn to the cults instead of turning to to God. Then he went off on this little tangent about, the fact that their generation failed our generation by not taking us to church. I'm like, really? Because my grandmother kept me in church every Sunday. But I don't go to church anymore, but she definitely kept me in church every Sunday, right? So then Dale went a little dark on us, right? because Dale told us his parents had him in church, right? But that didn't change how his parents looked at him, right? Because his parents told him he was going to hell because he's gay. And then he went deeper when he said his parents told him that God sent AIDS here in the 80s to kill people like him, and that they wish he was born earlier so that he could have gotten AIDS and died, so that way he could have spared them the embarrassment. I was like, well, damn. How do you say that to your kid, that you wish that they got a disease in the 80s that was killing people? You would, oh God, that's just terrible. Tyler Perry, how did you write that? How did you come up with that as a scene? Have you heard that before? Because that was very dark. Very, very dark. Very dark. But let's move on. All right, you guys. So next up, let's talk about Priscilla. So Priscilla, she is sitting outside of Nancy's house. Who else is outside? That nosy ass Miss Jody. So Miss Jody calls Nancy to tell Nancy that Priscilla is sitting outside, right? And that she's been sitting out there for a while. So she hangs up the phone with Miss Jody. She calls Priscilla. She's like, Priscilla, are you sitting outside? She's like, yeah. How did you know? She says, look outside of your window and see who's outside. And she notices Miss Jody, right? So then she gets out of the car. Miss Jody said, she's walking up to the door. Miss Jody said, you okay? Because you've been sitting out there a long time. Looks like you've been going through it. Miss Jody, you don't have no kids, no grandkids, no business, no nothing. Like, you can't even watch TV in your house. Like, you got to sit out. Miss Jody is the type of neighbor that I would literally have to cuss out every day. I'm like, hi, you would speak to Miss Jody, like, hi, Miss Jody. But then you'd be like, Miss Jody, you're nosy. You're at my business. Why? Like, you would literally have to go off on Miss Jody every day, right? Because she's one of those neighbors that, they'll be out. Yeah, she would just be, at that time of night, whatever time of night, I mean, it's dark. So it's late. Girl, mind your business, right? So then when Priscilla goes in the house, she asks Nancy how are things with she and Richard. She says something before she said whatever she said next, but I forgot what word she used. I forgot what the word she used, but she did say that, it's not good. And I'm thinking to myself, Nancy, what did you expect? You slept with his father and had a baby with his father. You expect for him to get over that in 5 hours, 20 hours, 24, 72, 48, 120, like, what the hell? That is, if he's able to give over that, that's gonna take some years and some therapy to get over that shit. Like, you slept with his father. Now, see, me personally, if I was Nancy, I told you before, Nancy, you should have just lied. You really should have lied and said that he forced himself upon you. That would be different. Instead of you just saying you willingly slept with the man, I would have lied. Me being honest with you guys, I would have lied to him, right? So then Nancy asked Priscilla if she wants to talk. And at first Priscilla said no, but then she says, talk to me, right? So then she tells her that Sam is having an affair, right? And that she just wants to punish him, but she wants to hurt the woman, right? She says, so you know who it is? She said, yeah. She says, it's someone that works at the White House. She said, is it that Frida bitch? She says, no, Nancy, it's not Frida. So then she says, well, who is it? Like, you know who it is? She said, yes. She says, it's one of his agents, right? And that she just wants to quit. Like, she just can't stand you just stand looking at her every day, right? And Priscilla says, Nancy says, don't quit, right? And she tells her that she saw a video. She was like, how did you see a video? She says, someone recorded it. Woman, she's like, who recorded it? Great question. Who recorded it? Jason. Why did Jason record it? He's a sociopath. He's a freak. And he's weird. So then Priscilla says that there's only one person who can help her, and it's this General Martin guy once again. Nancy's like, ooh, I want to reach out to him because I did that to Richard. Did that to him with Richard once before, and he got upset with me, right? So I guess the thing with General Martin is they don't want him to look at them as not perfect or something like that. I don't know, but she explained it, but I just wasn't listening. Sorry, guys. But let's move on. All right, you guys. So next up, let's talk about Lily. So Lily went home, and she calls Bobby. Right? She tells him, she went to the cabin, and she thought that he was dead. Right? He asked her, "Why did you go to the cabin?" She said, "Because I don't want to lose you." I was like, "You don't want to lose him? Damn! You would really think that you've known this man for months, but you don't. You've known him for a few days, week." Because it's not weeks, it's like a few days at this. Can someone please tell me what this damn timeline is on the show? I literally have lost track of it. Like, what is a timeline? I don't know what day is what at this point, right? So she tells him that Hunter was there, and how he was being, right, and how he wanted to take a selfie. She said, "I took a picture of it," right, and she was going to send it to him, but when they were talking on the phone, the line started breaking up, right? She's like, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? But what happened is Blakely came into the room. She told, Bobby, stop using the phone, get rid of it, right? Because she cut the line. So then we see Victoria. She found that creepy ass Jason. She says, "Shouldn't you be talking to your therapist?" He says, "I'm trying to get rid of her." She says, "Well, keep being creepy old you, and you'll do it." So then he tells her that, Hunter's gone, right? And, he tells her, "Look at the television." So she looks at the television, and on the TV, who is it with Hunter? It's that dumbass Ellie. So he tells her, she might be the one to take your place, because, he likes them young, right? So then he says to her, "Well, Donald, his assistant, Alan, that's her boyfriend, right?" She says, "Yes. And they're both cheating on both of you." Jason. So then, after Victoria leaves, Jason calls Alan asking if he saw the news. Alan's like, "Yeah." Jason wants to push people to do things that he wants. Like, I guess Jason at this point is tired of killing, so he wants someone else to do his dirty work for him. So Alan was like, "You know what, Jason, I'm gonna hang up on you." He says, "You can't hang up on me. I'm the first son." He says, "Yeah, but I'm hanging up on you." And then Jason says, "Well, if you hang up on me, you'll lose your job." Alan said, "Don't threaten me," and click, hung that phone up in his face. He's like, "Alan," I'm like, "Little nigga." He hung up in your face. Yeah, they should put that little lad. Should have put that little nigga in therapy years ago. But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. Next up, Richard. So Richard, Sharon, and Dale, they finally made it to the compound, right? So when they make it, the compound is being heavily guarded, right? The people there at the gate, they have guns, and Sharon's like, they have guns. You're like, "I don't know if we should be here." And I still don't understand why Richard got out of that damn car. They have guns, you have nothing. What if they just bust a cap in your ass as soon as you got that set foot out that door? I mean, I get it, you're looking for Barry, but what good are you to Barry if you're dead? You know what I'm saying? You're no good to Barry if you are dead. You can't help Barry or Callie. So he got out of the car, right? And one of the guys, his name is Manny. He comes up to him, and he's talking to Richard, and Richard's like, "Is my son here?" He was like, "Who are you?" He says, "I'm Richard Halson." He's like, "And what's your son's name?" "Barry." "What's his last name?" "Really? He just told you his name is Richard Halson, and he's looking for a son, so I would assume his last name is what? Halson." So then he tells him, "This is private property." Okay, it ain't that private. Well, yeah, okay, maybe it is. I'm not even gonna argue with you, right? So then, Manny asked him, "How did you know we were here?" "Well, bitch, I would have just said I was just driving, you dumb hoe, and I found your place." Like, the fuck? "How did I know you were here?" "None of your motherfucking business." You know what? You wouldn't say that to a nigga with a gun, so hey. Okay. So then Manny tells him to leave. He says, "I will leave, but I'll come back with reinforcements." you know, Barry's godfather. He is a member of the Secret Service. He's like, wait a minute, so you threatened us with the white man's enforcement? Yeah, you scared, bitch. So they leave, right? So then Daikon comes out, and he, you know, Manny tells Daikon about how heavily connected to the White House Barry is. And they were like, oh shit, we need to move him and that baby, right? Oh, please don't hurt them. Please don't. Child, we ain't saw Callie since season 1. And that was the beginning. Well, no. That was the later half of season 1 since we last saw Callie, right? I wonder if she's alive. What have they done with that little girl? Because we haven't saw that little girl on this show in a minute. Now, Ruthless, I can't speak to it. Still haven't watched it yet. So then we see Victoria. So Victoria goes to question Alan about where Donald is, right? And she says that she wants to see the schedule and the itinerary. He says, I can't let you do that, ma'am. So then she starts to go look for it. And he says, you could get me fired. She says, what you need to do is worry about that girlfriend of yours, right? So then Victoria's talking about how he looks like a fool. I'm like, Victoria, you look like a even bigger fool. The fact that you know your husband is sleeping with these women and you're still with him. Who's really the fool? You. Like you can't talk about Alan, because if you talk about Alan, you gotta hold a mirror up to yourself, because y'all are the same exact person in the same exact situation, right? So we're gonna go ahead and wrap the episode up. So we see Bobby, him and Max are talking about Lily. He tells him that, you know, he shouldn't be talking to her, that she could be tracking them. Bobby says she's not. How do you know that? You don't actually know that Lily is not tracking you. You're just going off of faith, but you don't know that. But you're right. She's not tracking you, right? So Max says that, you know what, I'm not willing to take that chance, so hand over the damn phone. So he does. So then he tells him what Lily told him about how, you know, Hunter went to the site of the explosion, him taking the selfies and all this shit. And Max tells him that Blakely has a plan that he thinks is better than Bobby's plan, because Bobby wants to execute Hunter. I'm actually here for that plan. So then at the end of the episode, we see that the Rackadoochies, they followed behind Richard. They rammed Richard's truck, right, until it flipped. And then they drove off. I was like, how much sense did that make, right? If you're trying to kill them, wouldn't you make sure that the job is done? Just because you flip that truck doesn't mean that they're necessarily dead. Some killers they are, huh? But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Please leave your comments in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified when I drop anything else, and share the video. And until the next one, you guys, do me a solid favor out there. Please stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, wear a mask or not, but whichever one you guys do decide to do, just be blessed and be safe, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys. Damn.